whatever is you are doing, you always do it on extremes. It's very hard for you as well as others to be remain on middle path. There was one king named Shron. Shron was so rich king, people were surprised about his richness. He was so rich. Apart from that, he was a debauchery, a lechery. He was so into activity of lechery that each night in his palace he used to do party with one of the most beautiful girls in rest of the world, nude girls, beautiful prostitutes with very costly and very popular wines and drinks, with variety of non-veg available in his party. He was so rich. He was a king in his palace 365 days in a year, 365 nights in a year he used to do party, and in day he used to sleep with beautiful prostitute of his area. So even if he walks out of his palace, his guards used to lay down carpet before he walks. And he was so lecherous that even when he used to climb stairs, he don't have railing there. In place of railing, there was on each step a nude girl, and with the support of their shoulders he used to climb stairs, go up. So one thing you have noticed, he was living an extreme life, extreme luxury, extreme richness, extreme debauchery. And one day he was fed up. You think the thing you will do 365 days for many years, one day you will be fed up, you will be get bored from that thing, and that too on extremes you are doing that. Similarly the case was with Shron. One day he got fed up and he thought about taking renunciation of everything, his kingdom, his richness, his luxuries. So he renunciated everything and became a monk under Buddha. Now what transition he go through is, now he was wearing only underwear, and when he was a king he used to wear very high fashion clothes imported from different countries. And now after becoming a monk he used to wear only underwear, and Before renunciation, he used to walk on carpets. Now he is walking on stones, on thorns. And other monks used to eat once a day, but Shravan used to eat once in 2 days. And other monks used to take rest under shadow of tree, but he used to stand in sun. Have you noticed one thing? Even after becoming a monk, he is totally different from other monks. Even after becoming monk, even after renunciation, he is living his life on extremes of pain and suffering. And when he was king, he was also living his life on extremes of richness and luxury. So there is no difference. Just difference is he has changed his direction from luxury to sufferings. Both he was living on extremes. He was just like a pendulum. How a pendulum used to move from right to left, left to right. So on left extreme he was living luxuries on extremes, and on right extreme after becoming monk he is also living on extremes. And he was so inflicting pain on thyself. He was not eating properly. Before renunciation he was very healthy, because he used to have food even more than 4 times a day sometimes, and that too non-vegetarian of variety of animals. And after renunciation he used to do fast for many days. Now also he is living on extremes. Now he is not eating on extreme level for many days, and before renunciation he was eating many times a day. That was also extreme. So one day his body became, and with passage of time his body became very thin. He was shrinking because of self infliction of suffering fast. So one day he was about to die. Gautam Buddha went to him and asked him, Shravan, I heard that you liked guitar very much. You know how to play guitar and you are very much interested in guitar when you were king. Shravan said yes. So Gautam Buddha asked, now tell me, Shravan, if I lose the strings of guitar, will the song come out of it? Shravan said no. If strings of the guitar are loose, then proper song will not come out of it, and even song may also not come out of it. Then Gautam Buddha asked, if I tight the strings very much tight, even more than enough, then will song come out of guitar? Shravan said, if you tight the string more than enough, then strings will break. So Gautam Buddha said, similar is the case with you, Shravan. When you were king, your strings were so loose, you were living luxury on extremes, like a loose string in your guitar. Even in that moment, song was not coming out of you. You were suffering because you were living on extremes. And now, after renunciation, after becoming a monk, you are suffering, you are self inflicting pain on thyself. Now also you are living on extremes. Now you are not having food even once a day. So now your strings are very much tight. This is also extreme position. So just like in a guitar, loose strings is also very extreme, tight string is also very extreme. In both the cases, song will not come out of guitar. Similar is the case with you, Shron. Shron realized. Shron realized and he got tears in his eyes. Gautam Buddha said, "You know how to play guitar? I know how to play guitar of life, and to live a healthy, happy life, you have to live on middle path. You have to live a life in which your strings are not tight, even not loose. The middle in between tightness and looseness. That is the middle path, Shron. You have to live that part. Live only the necessary. Unnecessary things, if you live, that is extreme. Tight string in a guitar is also unnecessary for guitar. Loose strings for guitar is also unnecessary thing for guitar. And in between, where there is no tightness and no looseness, that is the necessary part for a guitar to play a good song. Similar is the case with real life, Shron. If you live on middle path, if you walk on middle path, that will bring you bliss, happiness. Now ask thyself, do you live on middle path or you are living your life on extremes? Let me just give you a simple question to contemplate on. When you wake up early in morning, whenever you wake up, do you take phone in your hand and check out the status of someone, or check out the replies on your status, who have watched your status? You check that thing. Whether you check who has uploaded video on YouTube, whether you watch YouTube video, whether you watch reels, whether you watch how many likes you gained on Instagram, and so many things on your phone. Is that the case when you wake up early in the morning and this has become your habit? Now okay, even if this has become your habit, is this essential for you? Whatever is your career right now, whatever your occupation may be right now, you may be a student, you may be a businessman, you may be a housewife, you may be whatever be your occupation right now. When you wake up early in the morning, you take phone in your hand. You take phone out of necessity or out of unnecessity? That is the thing to judge whether you are living on extremes or on middle path. I have just given the question on mobile phone in early morning. There are thousands of situations where you may live things, use things unnecessarily. You ask thyself, judge that thing, whether you are living a thing on extreme or not. And trust me, it is no doubt very difficult to live on middle path. It is very difficult to use only necessary things, but it ain't impossible. And the day you will live on middle path, you will start living on your middle path, you will experience a new kind of happiness in your life, a new kind of blissness. And that is the outcome of living on middle path. So whenever you are utilizing anything, you are talking to any person, you are doing any activity in your 24 hours, just have a question in your mind, whether you are doing or having any activity right now, is that essential or non essential, is that necessary or non necessary? If that is essential and necessary, then no problem. But if that is unessential, non necessary, then you are living a thing on extremes. No matter be it anything, whether you follow any ideology, Hinduism, Buddhism, capitalism, Marxism, Islam, Hindu logy, any ideology, whether you are totally supporting an ideology, whether you are totally against other ideology, then also you are living on extremes. You are living like a Shron. Shron was totally rejecting food for many days and inflicting harm, of inflicting hunger in on himself. Similar is the case with you. You are totally rejecting an ideology. Even if you are totally supporting an ideology, you are living like a Shron, which he was using luxuries. He was living totally supporting luxury. That also you are living on extremes. And extremes always brings sorrow, suffering. So no problem, right from now, if your eyes are opened after listening this video, just have a question every moment in yourself, whether you are doing a thing or having an activity or talking to a person or anything you are having at a moment, whether is that necessary for you, whether is that essential for you or not. You will get your honest answer from yourself only, and after getting answer you can act accordingly, your volition. And from extremes to middle path is known as meditation.